This is the Entourage Hour, brought to you by E&E. Welcome to the show. We'll give you a weekly broadcast at the goal of informing the community on what's going on in the world from a hip-hop perspective. Today our guest will be Miss Ebony Majors. She's a female artist, and we have the CEO of Entourage Entertainment here, who's going to explain a little bit about what Entourage is and how it was formulated.
Well, Entourage is basically an entertainment company. We're trying to be the whole package, you know. We don't want to just be just artists who just do music. You know, we want to do TV, you know, we want to do film, you know, commercials, everything, you know, management, distribution, you know. And basically, you know, I got 4 or 5 entertainment artists, you know, who forms a group called Official Game. We rock, you know, strong as a whole, but individually can break down and kill it individually too.
All right.
You know, so
you're basically going to be showcasing talent and trying to help perpetuate their career.
Perpetuate their careers and start, and you know, hopefully leads down other avenues, you know, business and other ventures we come across. You know, we're both taking advantage of everything. You know.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the E&E Hour. I have the lovely Miss Asia, the First Lady of E&E, here with me.
First Lady.
She will be my co-host. Every week we will bring this broadcast to you, and we'll cover specific topics. And like I said, in the hope of providing information to the masses. And I am obviously a black man from the DMV area, and I have a hip hop background. I grew up in the 90s when hip hop was at its peak, so I have a unique perspective as well. Our first guest is Miss Ebony Majors. She's a female rapper, and she's going to explain a little bit about her background. Where she came from.
Hey, what's going on?
How y'all doing?
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Good.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
How you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm doing good. Excited.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, yeah, this is Ebony Majors. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, you know, hailed out here to Virginia, representing that Woodbridge, representing HMG. I'm HMG's First Lady North. Oh, can y'all hear me? How y'all doing? Again, I was saying, I'm repping with HMG. I'm the First Lady of North. You know, I just got into the music thing and just said, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, trying to give something a little different, you know, because there's not a lot of female artists out here that's really bringing a little bit of the old school, a little bit of the new school. So I'm just coming in with a twist. Yeah, it's a little bit, you know, sometimes you have to get in there just to capture the audience and give them what they want, and then you give them you. Exactly. You know, so.
Personally, I lost interest in a lot of female artists now because everything is about they come out and they're shaking their asses, and nothing against it. I mean, sex sells. I like sex as much as anybody else. It's just
you got to realize the nature of the business is at the end of the day, it's a business.
It's a business to make money, and I get that. But I do want to be entertained, and I'm not easily entertained by just someone jumping around shaking their ass. That's just me personally.
But you know what? I think for me, I have to be happy with it first.
Right.
You know, and if I just can't sit back and listen to my music constantly over and over again, and if I get sick and tired of it, then why should somebody else listen to it? You know, so I finally got to a point that I felt like, okay, I love my music, and why not share my music with everyone else? You know what I'm saying?
What is your perspective on music? Like, do you tell stories in your music? Do you try to give a message? Or?
You know, I tell stories. I have a lot of party music. You know, I like to dance. I really like to dance, and I like to see everyone else get up and dance. I hate going somewhere now and everybody's riding the wall.
Right.
You know, I like to see that party atmosphere because back in the day, that's what it was about. You know, everybody having a good time, and right now everybody, oh, I'm so tough. No, it's not about that. You know, as long as you come out, you enjoy yourself, and you can actually listen to what I'm saying,
right, and
you repeat it, and not just the beat go hard and that's it. That's all you really hear in a hot chorus. Because
right,
9 times out of 10, that's what people go for.
Anymore, right?
Yeah, they like, oh yeah, that beat go hard, and I like the chorus because it stays in your head. But no, I'm gonna give you something that you can talk about.
Yeah. So what made you want to do music?
You know,
how'd you know you wanted to do music? Be an artist.
Man, growing up in New York, it's just like, you're surrounded by nothing but people that that do music, and I always loved it. Me and my sister, we started a group, and I was just the fake little DJ, and she was doing it, and I was just like, you know what, I really want to get serious with it because I really love it,
Right.
And I didn't start getting serious until about 95, and I think, and once I started hearing different artists, and I was like a really big LL, Queen Latifah fan. Then I was just like, oh, I love me some Snoop. Missy and the Super Friends hit the scene. It was a wrap for me. I was like, oh, I'm going in here full throttle. I was like,
on the Hip Hop Awards Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm like, people need to give them that respect that they need, because Missy came out and she tore the game up because she gave you a visual, and it was just like she went where everybody else wouldn't go. So it's just like, oh, she found her own space.
Yeah, she found her own space. She had a unique style that we all attached to, right? She didn't follow trends. She went out on the ledge there.
Because it's like, you gotta think about it. Like, all right, you got Fox, you got Kim, everybody's on that level, you know what I'm saying? And then
different angles.
One thing to separate Missy, she her own producer too.
Yeah, and it's like, and that right there is really important, and I stopped doing music, then I got back to it and said, you know what, I want to make my own beats. We got on in and we started getting heavy into it, and like, you know what, then I said, I don't even want to rap, I want to do the beats. But then once you get back to what you love, and you're like, oh, I love this as a whole. So it's like, it's not about money, it's not about fame. I love this.
Well, Ebony, I got a question for you. The term FemC is kind of loosely thrown around in the game. What would you define as an MC, and do you identify yourself as an artist as a FemC?
You know what? I identify myself as Ebony Majors. And it's just like, no labels. I don't want to stand because that's the standard that everybody's going to look at you as. Oh, yeah, you spitting bars. And these things with the spitting bars nowadays, everybody's writing and reciting their rhymes. When you come out to spit a cipher, that's not spitting bars, that's spitting written. So it's just like, I'm from the old school where we stood under the street lights, so we pounded on the table.
And pause a little bit for your next verse.
It
sounds so already rehearsed.
So talk about your first single, and the single you went to showcase. Where did that come from? What's the theme of this?
Let's see. Well, actually, Abstract Thirst. It's something kind of new.
Abstract Thirst. That's an interesting name. Abstract Thirst.
Abstract Thirst is something new, and the beat that I found the beat for Flawless Tracks. Actually, they're from the area, the DC area, Matone P. I was just like, I liked it because it reminded me of Timbaland and Missy. And so when I heard it, I was just like, you know what? Let me come at it, because people are like, oh, everything you tell this bubblegum music. No, it's not about bubblegum. You want to hear Thug? No, now you're making me mad. So when I get mad, now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna spit it and I'm gonna show you what it's about. There's no chorus, no nothing. I just straight roll the beat. And it started off as a freestyle, and it was just like, you know what? Abstract Thirst. It's like, so y'all thirsty for something. I'm gonna paint this picture for you, make it colorful so it's different, and I'm doing my own art. So that's why I said it was Abstract Thirst. I'm coming at anybody who comes at me, and it's just like, I stand on my own platform, and your own lane.
I see a little bit of that Abstract Thirst.
You know what? I'm like, I got this thing on this jump drive. Who do I give this to?
Engineer right there.
The engineer. I'm gonna step up out this camera real quick.
Now, I got a question, Ebony. The song Salute Me. With that song, actually, with your whole, if you want to promote the mixtape that you have out, tell the fans. There you go. Tell the fans where they can go.
You can find, you can Google me, Ebony Majors. You can go on ebonymajors.com. You can find all my pages on that actual webpage.
Yeah, right here. Salute the Majors. I see it.
Yeah, Salute the Majors.
It was tough. That's tough. Y'all gotta listen. I can name about five tracks off of that alone. And
it was just a versatile.
All right, we're about to play the track. Everybody can hear your music. Here we go. Abstract Thirst. Alright, well, we're having issues playing Abstract Thirst.
It's alright. They're not ready for it yet.
Yeah, we got issues playing, and I apologize.
No, you're good.
But
you're good.
while I have you right here, we will also be handling current events on this show. It won't just be about music. It'll be about music, but also about what's going on in the world. Regionally, globally, all that kind of stuff. And some of the hot topics right now are Ebola and racism. And racism I think it's a very broad term. So I'm going to narrow it in just the respects of Ebola and how it applies to that. What are your opinions on Ebola? I mean, you've seen the news and everything that's going on. What do you think about it?
Oh man, I wish the camera could catch my black fist on the side here. You know, honestly, it's been a hot topic that it's gotten to the point that we're talking about it at work. And I'm starting to think that it is. It's race-based. And everything they want to take out, they want to send over to Africa. They want to send this. It's like we're test guinea pigs. We're coming out here, you're giving all these infectious diseases to kill us all. You know what I'm saying? Population control. That's how I look at it. And it's just like, you got these two doctors who over there, they all good and well now.
Exactly.
But you like this guy, 103 fever, and he's dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the gentleman who was speaking about it, the guy from Liberia patient who died in Texas. There were other complications with him. He had kidney issues as well as he had a rare blood type. What they're doing with Ebola is they're transfusing the plasma and they're formulating the cure from that. So his blood type kind of prohibited him from getting treated. So there were other complications that led to that guy's demise. It wasn't just, he was black and let him die. But in a sense, like you said, they let him out the hospital, like with 103 degrees. After he informed them, I came from West Africa, and I was in touch with, So we can question that, to powerful component. The bigger issue here for me is the misinformation about the disease. Yesterday they had the Senate hearings about Ebola, and they had the chairman of the CDC, as well as various military advisors and others, and infectious disease experts. They were all explaining, banning flights from West Africa. Now, the far right is pressing banning all flights from West Africa, and a lot of people here are kind of acquiescing to that sentiment. Now, in my opinion, this is from straight fear that people are pumping into society and making it afraid. They're trying to make you afraid. The media is the number one provocator of all this. But when you look at what's going on in West Africa and listen to what the CDC says and what the WHO says, banning flights from West Africa will only exacerbate the issue. Because let's look at what happened with this guy in Texas. He comes to Texas from West Africa, from Liberia, and he's infected. He tells him he's infected. Now, if you put a ban on flights from West Africa, say this guy doesn't inform you that he is sick. Now, not only does the nurse who has it now, both of the nurses who have it, they get sick, but I hear she went on, was supposedly going on a cruise before they pulled her off. She infects an entire cruise. The nurse infects her entire family, all from the stigma of Ebola. All right? So, I think information is key. Now, if you have every military advisor telling you that, and infectious disease advisor telling you that, banning flights from West Africa is a bad idea. And if you want to fix this issue, we need to go to the source and fix this issue. I don't understand why you don't listen. I mean, I'm flabbergasted. It's like if you were, owning a car and the mechanic says you need new brakes and you decide I'm gonna get a tire. It's totally just dismissed with professional sense. And we do that because we go by what our gut tells us. We go by emotions, the fear and things like that. Now, on the screen you see a number 202-643-4229. That's a call in number. Please call in. I would like to have discussions with anybody on this topic. Also, you can follow on social media. The Entourage is the hashtag for the Twitter account. We have a Facebook page as well. Look us up. Please chime in, call in, feel free to weigh in as you feel.
Right now, we've got the music from Ebony Majors playing. So, Ebony, we're just going to go ahead and kind of let the listeners hear what you got to offer for us.
This track right here is Cali.
Okay.
I think she did a great job actually with the storytelling in this one. A lot of references to the vets that pretty much put Cali on the map as far as hip hop goes.
So that's how I looked at it when I first went out there. I enjoyed myself. I was like,
well, tell us about the trip to Cali that inspired the song.
I went out there. My girlfriend, she's from California, so it's kind of funny. We have this East-West Coast thing because I'm from New York.
Right.
So I went over there and.
What part of California?
She's actually from Pomona.
Okay. Where is that?
It's like 30 minutes from LA.
Okay.
So it's like Chino, the whole area over there. So it's really nice. It's a beautiful place. when we went out there, I was like, okay, I want you to take me every place that I've seen in Boys in the Hood. I want to go to Crenshaw. I want to go, you know. We chased the Hollywood sign. We did everything, and so you know.
You want to see what Kane's cousin Harold got shot?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I went there. She took me to the hat. I'm in the screen. We had like French fries. And, like, it is awesome. Like salami sandwiches. Everybody always talk about Roscoe chicken and waffles. You know, I went to Juanita's. You know, I went to Jack and the Crack. I was like, I want to go. She like, it's not really like that. I was like, it is, and I want to go there. But it's a beautiful place. I had a really good time out there. I just took a little bits and pieces from what I saw in different movies and just made a track over there. I'm like, you know, I had a good time. I love the song because it does give you that visual of
All right, well, just to wrap it up, I want to talk more about, you know, not just your college experience that you had over there and what formulated your music perspective, but also, like you said, your decision to make music that wasn't just promoting violence or just about getting people angry, but making people happy, trying to get people to dance, trying to get people to enjoy themselves. Tell me a little bit more about that real quick.
I actually have like some party tracks that just basically talk about, okay, let's just get up and start dancing.
Right.
You know, we partying and having a good time. And I really don't try to talk about things that I'm not doing, you know, and I kind of stay.
That always confused me.
Stay in your lane.
They give all these stories, you know, experiences they've never had, money they've never spent.
Yeah.
And then you tell it to the masses, and these kids think that that's cool.
Yeah.
We go do that. But he's not going out shooting 5 people a day.
Exactly.
He's not going out driving a car that's worth $500,000.
And popping pills and all this
Popping
good
pills
stuff.
nonstop. I mean, it's,
You might be popping.
Yeah.
you might be popping a little pills, true.
Little Flintstones.
Right. All right. Well, so we haven't had any callers yet, but let's continue with our discussion. You described what you felt were experimentation with people, how they. I'm not necessarily ascribing to the fact that I think that anyone particularly intentionally infected Ebola and AIDS and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I would just go with the facts. This thing popped up in the Uganda numerous times over the past decade.
You know what? The facts are out there. You know, okay, let's just say, why would they want to patent it? You know what I'm saying?
In my opinion, that's pharmaceuticals trying to make money.
It's pharmaceuticals trying to make money, but it's a man-made thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just like AIDS. It's a man-made thing.
Very popular.
And it's just like, okay, if you don't have that money to get that proper medication, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, you know, you're all the animals out there, you know, we thrive off eating the food, you know, from the crops, you know, but if you're injecting it with all these hormones, look at all these young kids today. You know, you got a lot of these young males now growing boobs, you know, and it's just like a lot of different things because of more of these hormones. So you're injecting to the food, how else you want to get these people to test them out?
But all that, in my opinion,
Water.
I agree. All of it boils down to the healthcare and access to healthcare.
Let's not even talk about healthcare.
So that's a derivative of it.
You know,
if you have 60% of Americans are filing for bankruptcy for healthcare, so I mean.
It's like, okay, we're going to make everybody sick. The biggest drug dealer in the world is the FDA. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, okay, we're going to continue to make you sick, and I'm going to continue to get your pockets fat, and then we're going to give you this medicine that's going to cause these several different, you know what I'm saying?
It's all about treat sick people with chronic disease and prevention. Absolutely.
You wind up with something else. I'm taking these pills for a headache.
Exactly.
I'm having
You have erectile dysfunction. You're depressed. You want to go. If you're having thoughts of suicide,
now they like, now take this medicine for that.
and then 5 years later you see the commercial. Have you taken such and such drug? Call 1-800 da 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 da. So like, you know, major lawsuit. Exactly.
And now
Yeah.
everybody's eating from this pie, and they're all guinea pigs. I definitely understand what you're saying. So let me ask you this then, since I have you here. Do you think that they're intentionally, when I say they, I mean not just the government. I mean, when I say they, I mean this covers everything. I'm talking about big business in America, pharmaceuticals, corporations, government, corporations. You know these things. Do you think they're intentionally let this West African outbreak of Ebola run its course? Intentionally?
Yeah. I honestly believe that with all my heart and soul. And it's because if not, they could have stopped it where it was at.
Well, you had, like I said, they just had the hearings yesterday, and the guy from CDC, he very vehemently explained that this outbreak happened in Uganda over the past decade or so. A couple of times it flared up. We get about 6 or so cases.
They said Ebola is kind of similar to influenza in the sense that it flares up and then it dies down, flares up and dies down.
Yeah, and it's a new test trial each time.
And then when asked why they didn't act, basically said they didn't know. Why they didn't act? Why they didn't do anything?
Let me tell you something. I don't care. Call me a conspiracy theorist or you want to. They have all these shows out here that paint these events from years on out and keep doing all these epidemics. I'm like, to me personally, I think it's bull. You know? Because I'm like, okay, you let these doctors go off and they come back and all of a sudden you're killed. No, I feel me personally, all y'all stay away. You know, you want to risk your life.
That's one of the biggest issues I have with the whole discussion of ban. Like, everyone right now wants to ban West African fight. That's my biggest problem.
But you're dealing with people's fear. You're dealing with the mass.
Some of these people are foreign nationals. They're foreign nationals. They have dual citizenship. You're going to tell American citizens you can't go for the far right. And mind you, I'm not coming from a far left perspective. I'm a centrist. You know, I believe in some things that the Conservative Party says and some things that the Liberals say. I don't think either one of them have all the answers. I think where most people live at is in the middle. But to sit back and to allow this to go on and say that from the far right minds you that, well, let's just make a travel ban in West Africa fight. When every person in the know has said that that won't help, it will make the problem worse. Because it will create this stigma that already exists, but it will make it worse. That people from West Africa are spreading Ebola. Don't let them in your country. Don't let them go. Well,
and all the countries one by one will start following suit.
Well, what happens when they fly to the UK and fly to the US? It's not like a shield that if you sit up there and you put it up.
Like under the dome.
Right. You can't, we're in a protected dome. No one can get in here. They'll just fly out somewhere else in the country. And then they won't tell you.
If they got money to go all the way out to Mars, you got money to figure out how to stop these different trials that you're testing these people for.
Well, they've squashed it. Like I said, every time it's arisen, they've clamped it down. So
that's just like, okay, a lot of the people, okay, I can say a couple of people that I know who actually fought in the Gulf War.
right.
They give everybody all these types of shots. Several different trials of people they blew up, they got really fat, or people started to lose their hair. You know what I'm saying? And then they say, okay, we gave you this stuff to protect you from where we were sending you to, but the adverse effect was just like, come on, you know, you're actually killing these people off, and they just want to see how strong you are.
So you think it's just a guinea pig, it's a continuous experiment?
It's gonna be, to me, I'm like, that's what I believe. This is like,
Well, if it doesn't end with Ebola, it'll be some new, you know, illness.
It's gonna be some random. They're gonna concoct.
My biggest fear, this is my biggest fear, is that we ignore this, because the WHO right now counts cases at 1,000 cases for Ebola. People get infected. Out of the year, what? That's 2,200. Right? They estimate within 6 months this number will go to 10,000. So in a year's time, that's half a million people. You can't possibly control half a million people who sick from possibly contaminating other people in the country. They're going to travel, they're going to see other people, they're going to happen.
And then that's the thing everybody's trying to see is it's airborne. Is it
That's another one of them. That's another one of them.
But it's like a lot of people, they're like, oh, can I get it if I get a cut? Or if somebody
It can
touches me
only
from
be
body.
transmitted from vomit, blood, or any type of really, really thick mucous membrane type of substance. And it has to be getting through an open mucous membrane, like your eyes, your mouth, or something like that.
Well, I'm going to propose a scenario here. Just me being in the healthcare field and what I do day in, day out. I work in the dental field, actually. And in the dental field, what we kind of deal with is that, you know, when you're working in a person's mouth, you're dealing with aerosols. Right. So if you're dealing with an infected person, whether it's Ebola, the flu, chickenpox, whatever, you know what I mean, whatever it is, the aerosol spray is spraying this around. Right. So these mucous membranes, meaning you're not the mucus from the nostrils, the eyes, things like that, these could be ways of transmission, but you know, I mean,
Ebola right now, Ebola can't transmit. It can't transmit. It has to be through physical contact.
I'm waiting to see that because there's a lot of, and these are people that are actually in the healthcare field that sit down having these
Genetically,
discussions.
it's impossible. There's something right now that attaches to the cells. It's attached to the cells of the lungs. It's just not possible. It's just so minuscule. It's just, like I said, that's about perpetuating the fear. It's not going to, nobody's going to cough.
Well, the fear is out there. It's definitely out
It's
there.
definitely out there.
It's definitely out there.
All right, so let's move on a little bit here.
Oh, and this is Abstract Thursday.
There we
This is
go.
Abstract
Finally,
Thursday.
thank
Finally,
you.
we have the song playing. Okay, everyone give a listen to Abstract Thursday.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up Ebony here. I just wanted to ask the last question. Basically, what's your overall message that you want to get out to
Follow
the
your
Entourage
dreams.
experience? There you go.
Follow your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this. Don't let nobody, you know, because the more somebody comes out and tell you that you can't do it, and they're stealing your joy. And it's like God gave everybody a talent, you know, and whatever you see in your future, you gotta put out positive energy out there and just give it, you know, it's gonna come back. I just say, just don't stop. Don't stop.
All right. Well, thank you, Ebony, for coming.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate it. Everybody, check out her pages. Check out her website.
Website.com.
There you go.
Now you wanna run the blog, talk about how all these niggas getting robbed and they took a hole in your face. Niggas stay in your place. You don't wanna fuck with E-majors, raise on the base, it's a major army. Niggas is on me, you back the pump because your niggas don't want me, cause I was seeing 30 circles, saying 30 circles.